I need to go. I need to interject here on a rant. Camping is stupid. It's the stupidest way. I mean, I'm sorry.
All right, so then it's still my turn, though. So
no, camping is stupid. You're going outside to live like a caveman. I mean, really? Come on, like
no. So why didn't you choose the campgrounds for your least favorite?
Because it's like
okay, you had your turn to rant on that, and you skipped it for ass. So now,
Damn.
This week, we are talking about the best resorts on property, the best value, the best moderate, and the best deluxe. And with our cast here at NotClub33.com, I'm Steve Rhodes with Becky, Bobby,
what it is, yo,
and Matt. Well, guys, last episode we dished on our worst in each of those categories. We'll make it a little more fun, well, a little nicer this week, so we won't have to trash. Well, somebody probably is going to get trashed because they're going to have something in their
that I can already see where this is
going. Derailment is not far away.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, we'll start with the value, and I guess we'll keep our same leadoff person, the Disney Cynic, also co-host of the Cynics on Disney podcast, Mr. Bobby Virgins. What's your best value?
Best value, even though I've never stayed there, it's got to be Art of Animation. Just from a technology standpoint, getting to hear the different cartoons underwater and that kind of thing. It's the newest of the value resorts. It is right there at that Hourglass Lake where you can hop on to the Skyliner and get across town. So just from an amenity standpoint and a technology standpoint, I got to go with Art of Animation. Plus the family suites, even though that's not my thing because I don't have kids and all that stuff. If you do, then you're probably going to enjoy that way more than I will. So, I don't have much to say on the subject without having stayed there personally, but just from the research, it's got to be Art of Animation.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and piggyback on that and say Art of Animation as well. One word, Skyliner. I think puts it kind of over the top, And, I had a chance to walk around the campus last time I was there, and the theming on the buildings, Lion King and the
Cars.
Can't think of every
Little Mermaid.
car.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid. It just blows the All-Star Resort away.
Finding Nemo, yeah.
Is it just me though, or is it very strange that Pop Century is what All-Star music could be, and Art of Animation is what All-Star movies could be if they had done it, not
even Art of Animation is just better themed than Pop Century, right?
Yeah. Well, it's using IP, so I guess it depends on how you feel about that. They have IP at Pop, but there's a lot of like Rubik's Cubes and Disco and not IP. So.
Well, Becky, you've stayed at both Art of Animation and Pop, and those were the places before you became a DVC member where you kind of frequented. What would say you on the subject?
Oh, I mean, getting 2 rooms is less awesome than getting 1 room, but now we've gone too far. We can't fit in the 6-person max family suite at AOA anymore. So we schooled that when our littlest was 2, and then now.
So if you have to pick,
yeah, I got you. But you said stated both. I did.
You did?
Art of Animation for sure. Yeah. Better food.
Why do you choose Art of Animation over Pop Century?
The family suites is what would put me there. If I'm going without my family, I'm choosing Pop Century if I have to do a value.
Why is that?
Because Art of Animation is close to the price of a moderate. And the rooms that aren't the family suite rooms, the Little Mermaid ones, are way far away from everything. They're not by the lobby. They're not by the nice pool. Okay. They're not by the stuff that like makes me want to go there. They're not super far, but like, why? Why would I want to do that? I would just stay at Pop and be pretty central to whatever I need. And, I can, So solo, but I think overall the best one of the values is art of animation. So my preference doesn't negate that, but yeah.
I'll jump in. I'll jump in here with the rest of everybody. It's just 2 cents from me. Becky's information is worth $1. Yeah, Art of Animation looks like a decent hotel that you would choose. So I'll go with that as my top value.
Becky, just to get this straight, your favorite is Pop Century, but the best is Art of Animation.
Yes.
Wow, clean sweep, guys. I'm surprised.
We did that on the worst show too.
Yes.
On the worst show, we clean sweeped ass. Yeah.
The value is picking the best value is still picking the best of the worst. So
yeah.
But we did clean sweep it for our best value and our worst value, which is kind of funny that all 4 of us went the same direction.
Limited options, my friend.
Yeah, that's true.
We all have the same taste at the end of the night at the bar. So.
All right, here, the middle of the pack here, the moderates. Bobby, what's your best?
Unlike everybody else on this panel, apparently, I happen to think that Coronado is the best of all the moderates. And no, it's not Disney. No, it's not. Yes, it's more similar, quote unquote, to a Hilton. But the Hilton's a pretty badass hotel in any other city in America, first of all. Second of all, Grand Destino Tower is just absolutely gorgeous to look at. Don't book a room at one of the other hotel towers. Just book one at Grand Destino, and if they don't have it for those dates, adjust your vacation. If you feel that strongly about it, so that you don't have to use the internal bus to get around, you can do that.
You still have to wait to get dropped off there. It's the last drop off at the tower.
Well, from what?
So,
Magical
everything.
Express? Rent a car.
No, from the parks. If you bus from the parks, it's bus stop number 4 or 5.
Still, rent a car. Drive yourself. I don't know.
But that defeats the whole purpose of the Disney magic,
DVC, Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a local. I don't even have that option. Anyway, I'm getting off track. The big selling point for me is A, it's the most recent moderate, and B, rooftop bar. I mean, that's
what's the name of that restaurant there?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but
I would like to try that.
But just the idea of being able to watch fireworks in the distance at 3 different.
The view is spectacular from those rooms. Absolutely.
Yeah, so, just that overall Grand Destino Tower experience, from everything that I've seen, I haven't stayed there myself. Yeah, absolutely. That has to put it above every other moderate, because there's no other moderate that has a tower experience like that. It doesn't have a bar experience like that. Every other moderate is basically just a slightly bigger version of a value to me. And so why not go someplace that's a little bit different? Yes, it's conventions, and yes, it's not the full immersion into Mickey and Minnie and everything like that, but that's okay. You don't have to dive head first into it just like Scrooge McDuck. I mean, if you did that, it would kind of break everything. So, well, at least that's just my opinion on it. But, clearly everybody else hates this place. So, take that.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I'd stay there. I just wouldn't pick it on purpose,
Well, the tower is.
I'm not staying at a moderate anyways, because the price point is no different than me renting DVC points. So
agree.
Right.
So at that point, I'm looking at.
I would stay there.
Various,
if they paid me, I'd stay there.
Moderates that are out there. Caribbean Beach is nothing to write home about. Even though it's been recently remodeled and it is on the Skyliner. I sounded off on the French Quarter last time. Riverside's no different than French Quarter, basically. So what am I?
They used to be 2 completely different hotels.
Yeah, one of them was called Dixie Landings.
It was Dixie Landings and Port Orleans. Yeah,
it's decent.
But now they're under the same umbrella. So, there's not much to choose from on the moderate side, and I'm going to go with the one that's a little bit different.
I think this is probably the hardest, because they're all not great,
Right. Yeah.
Like you'd stay at Art of Animation over those, and then you
if the price is right, yeah.
And then you would stay at DVC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite moderate is renting DVC.
So I'm going to go with Caribbean Beach because it's really the only one I've walked through, and I like Sebastian's, the restaurant there.
Yeah.
Now we'll get into Centertown Market, and when I do a 3-minute dine review, I got to sound off on that. So, but that's not a plus of the resort. We'll put it that way. And then I'm kind of being negative toward the resort because I picked it as my best, but the Skyliner, it's really accessible to the part of the resort is right next to it. Otherwise, the walk is just terrible. You almost have to Uber to get to the Skyliner.
Yeah,
but
their internal busing is just as.
The pool is cool though. It has a cool pool, has a cool bar, and it has Sebastian's.
If I could backtrack back over to Coronado, that pyramid pool is really cool looking. At the very least, it's not special in terms of like you don't
see the pictures.
You don't really get to utilize the actual pyramid space or anything like that. It's not like you have to climb up it or something, but it's cool to look at from the hot tub. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I don't know that Centertown Market. I don't know if anybody's eating there, but
I stayed there before the Skylight, like before the Skyliner and the refurb of everything. So it was still open before. So I haven't tried. Like even Sebastian was open.
I'll give you guys an insight. Steve knows. Don't eat there. So.
It was rough before they had before the refurbishment. So
I think they upgraded probably the menu when they redid it. I don't know, but they try to use like Caribbean flavors. And they got Sebastian's next door, which is amazing. They have great jerk sauce, and you think that we would use that same sauce? No.
Like, why would we do that? It makes too much damn sense.
2 chicken nuggets.
I did notice a lot of people ordering pizza there, so I don't know if the pizza's any good, but I can't imagine.
Disney pizza.
There's no such thing as good pizza in Orlando. I'll go ahead and reveal that to you guys now.
There has to be something.
Right? No, it's the water, man. It really is a thing.
Yeah,
I did have a lot of pushback on Pinocchio's pizza. So.
Yeah, that was blowing up on our allergy Facebook page. If you've got food allergies and you visit Disney quite frequently, you probably want to. There's hundreds of comments over there about food allergies. I'll link that Facebook group in the description of this video. You got blown up there, Pat. Yeah. Becky, what's your best moderate?
I have stayed at both Grand Destino Tower and Caribbean Beach. And I'm going to just say, as far as Skyliner goes, I stayed there before that. But I think they've got a better deal on the Skyliner, even if you're not right by it, than Riviera, because you're not. It's like that's the switch. Like. It cracks me up. Like I said, my favorite moderate is not staying in a moderate. We like you guys said, Art of Animation or renting DVC. I have no interest in spending that much for nothing better than Pops and
Okay,
Treats.
but if you had to pick one, like of the
Port Orleans, I've never been there. Let's go Port Orleans.
All right. You would have to pick the one that's my worst. That's fine.
No, not French Quarter, just Riverside.
Oh, just Riverside. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go, Steve.
Oh, hold on.
She's just trying to make you feel better. She's going with the old Dixie landings there for you, buddy. My number one moderate, which I'm not stupid and wouldn't do because I would just rent DVC points. But say they're out of points and I really want to go to Disney on a specific week, and everything's sold out on the DVC side. I would stay at CBR because the Skyliner's there. You mentioned it's a huge resort with the big walk and whatnot. But for me, if you're on the far side, on the Riviera side, you just get the Skyliner at the Riviera. If you're in the middle, then you've got the Skyliner there. Now the food court is not really close to half of it, so that kind of sucks. But I just kind of like the place, and it's called the Poly Light.
Don't you put that on?
You guys know I love the Polynesian.
Oh,
the pool there is great. The pool there is great.
The pool's not bad.
Yeah, and I,
Sebastian.
as a kid, that was my jam. So I'm just gonna stick with it. CBR. That's the place I'd stay if I had to stay at a moderate. But I'm with you, Becky.
And
Honestly,
it has
just rent
it has the
DVC.
best restaurant at Permian Beach too. So not Marketplace, but Sebastian.
Yeah, not the Centertown Market. Yeah, Sebastian's Bistro. There's a good review over on the Nightclub 33 website. If you guys want to check that out, that Pat did, I'll link to that as well. All right, we're down to the big hitters, guys. Bobby, Deluxus.
Yachting Beach.
Only
Okay.
one. Only pick one. You have to
Wait,
pick
you got to
one.
pick one.
Oh, that's two.
All right, well, it's going to be beach for the DVC component, but you kind of get to put both in there because they share all the same amenities. You share the same pool. They share Hurricane Hannah's. You're basically you can walk through one to get to the other. So they're really the same resort. They just have a different coat of paint on the outside.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Beach Club is
I agree.
technically closer to Epcot and has DVC. So yeah, if you have to delineate, fine, beach club. But I'm going with Yacht and Beach. Pool is the best pool on property. Period. The end.
Yeah.
I would rather spend that kind of money and never go to a water park because of the pool. I would also say that the poolside bar at Hurricane Hannah's is fantastic. Pat and his giant rum cocktail that he had can prove that or validate it.
Yeah.
Epcot's my favorite park, and I liked having prior to the Skyliner. And maybe this is why I don't like the Skyliner. I liked having that backdoor entrance to Epcot. It was kind of like a nice kept secret to a degree, and I could just kind of walk in without any sort of lines being right there. That's personal preference, obviously, but you're also in a position where you are right there for Hollywood Studios. You're right there for Epcot. Across the way, you've got Boardwalk, so in a non-COVID year, you can do all sorts of different nightlife type things. You can do abracadabra, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, literally, if you were trying to hit bullseye on Disney property, it's Yacht and Beach. It's the center of the entire Disney World property, pretty much. So you're not a far drive from anything over there, whether it's Disney Springs, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, or even Animal Kingdom. It's all a much shorter drive because you're at a central location. So for me, it's got to be those places. You could say Boardwalk, the Clown Mouth, it's gone now, but it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. It still haunts these dreams. Boardwalk, it just doesn't have the same pool value to me, which is the only reason why Yacht and Beach can overtake it. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, Boardwalk's got a few pools, but that pool at Beach and Yacht Club, I mean, come on. I mean, what are we talking about? It's a pool that's fighting for second place.
Yeah, you just got so many food options there too. I mean, you even got the Swan and Dolphin.
The Swan and Dolphin has baller restaurants
food
too.
Is great.
Yeah. All of that. But even Cape May over at Beach Club, it's a pretty good buffet restaurant
cheap,
as well.
Peaches and cream.
Yeah.
There's ice cream on property to me. So
now.
Yeah, not going to disagree with that. I mean, that's a good choice. Yeah.
The one that was by Boardwalk that closed because they went bankrupt. Go ahead, Pat. What do you got, bud?
Geez. I mean, this is a hard one. I do like Bobby's choice of the Beach Club. But I'm gonna go with Wilderness Lodge.
Interesting.
I just like the whole atmosphere of Wilderness Lodge. I don't necessarily care about. Yeah, you have to either take a boat or get on a bus to Magic Kingdom or a bus anywhere you go, but that doesn't bother me too much. It just the atmosphere, the good restaurants.
Yeah.
It's just laid back, and I like it.
It does kind of remind me of that place in Branson that Tiger Woods just built the golf course at.
Payne's Village or whatever it's called. Yeah.
I mean the lodge perspective anyway, that's kind of what it reminds me of. I don't
Yes.
like the shtick over at Whispering Canyon as much because they don't cuss at you or anything like that. If it was like Dick's Last Resort, I'd be fine with it. But for some reason, like a wagon train full of children with
Trash.
ketchup is, it's garbage to me.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, yeah.
but no, I agree with you. It's especially in terms of like theming and everything like that. In Florida, you're always going to be able to get the palm trees and everything like that. But over by Wilderness Lodge, you don't get the palm trees. You get like a lot of pines and oaks and that kind of stuff that really makes you feel like you're in a different place. So I
Yeah.
don't disagree with that. Pick.
Yeah,
I wish,
like
if I ever had the money to stay in those cabins on the lake, I think that'd be pretty badass.
Oh, dude, yeah.
yeah, that's I
Bobby,
like.
when you get rich selling those AC units, you can
Yeah, not happening. Like
rent it. We'll all come down there.
those cash grab rooms, no, absolutely not. Fuck those.
Nice.
And the bungalows over at the Polynesian.
But they're cool. I mean,
Point
they're
suckers
expensive. I would never stay there.
screwed the DVC owners at those resorts. It's terrible.
Big time.
Yeah, I
What do
would.
you mean?
Both of those resorts, all three.
I would.
guess.
I would do the Wilderness Lodge ones before the Poly ones, and yeah.
If I want a bungalow, I'd pay that same price to actually go to Fiji.
Yes.
Well, it's probably cheaper to go to Fiji,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked, and like the cheapest season, if we used my family's max allotment of points for all 3 years, I could still only stay in one of those for 5 nights, and we have a lot of points.
Yeah.
And then there's that. What's the bar and the restaurant out there on the lake?
That's
Geyser Point.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool too.
The views out there just overlooking, you just feel like you're not even where you are. Like, yeah, that is dope.
Yeah. Wilderness Lodge.
Can't disagree with that pick, man.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. For us though, like I wouldn't pick it as my favorite only because inside of Shades of Green is very similar to inside of all these like Army-owned R&R places. They're all gorgeous lodge feels, and so we've stayed at a few of them over the years. And so going into Wilderness Lodge, it's very much like one of those and Grand Californian, and that's my Disneyland mention for the
There
night.
we go.
Yeah,
Gotta drop a Disneyland for us.
No, but so I was just having this discussion today how that Wilderness Lodge and Grand Californian are like they tried very hard to have that at both. And it's gorgeous, but like I also like we camp a lot. My family camps a lot. So that it's not a campground by any means, but that nature feel is like that's not the same thing as a break in Florida to us.
It's not like
I need to interject here on a rant. Camping is stupid. It's the stupidest way. I mean, I'm sorry.
All right, so then it's still my turn though. So
camping is stupid. You're going outside to live like a caveman. I mean, really? Come on. Like, no. We're in the modern era. I'm sorry. I'm an air conditioning salesman.
Why didn't you choose the campgrounds for your least favorite?
Because it's like,
Okay, you had your turn to rant on that, and you skipped it for ass. So now,
damn.
Because I would never camp, Becky. God,
I have a camper, so I like to camp.
I don't mind camping. Yeah,
fine.
Bobby's outnumbered on that.
So my favorites is
please.
Boardwalk. Yeah, I'll choose Boardwalk. I don't love that it's all like lock-offs for the 2 bedrooms. So once my kids are a little older, I'll feel a little more comfortable with that. But and the pool, I haven't gotten to go on the Keister coaster. It was closed to remove the clown head to put in some Ren and Stimpy while I was there. So I didn't get to go down the Keister coaster.
It sounds like you don't like it.
By Ren and Stimpy, she means the Mickey Mouse shorts. The
new animation. So I didn't get to try it out, but I bet I've heard that slide itself, like the actual slide, it looks like an old wooden coaster. That's like my jam. I'm cool with it. I love.
Did they actually change the slide?
No, the slide is the same, but I haven't gotten to go on it because it was closed. Yeah. So I think that's what I am looking forward to trying at some point. A lot was closed when I stayed there along the boardwalk, so I didn't get the full experience, but I could tell how, I mean, I've been over at the boardwalk, not staying there, I've been along there. So I know what it's like, but I love the location. It took me 9 minutes to walk to the gates of Hollywood Studios. It took me like maybe 10 minutes to get into Epcot. And like,
Right.
we probably would have bought there if that contract wasn't just 20 years left. Like, that's where I would, I mean, I 100% want to go back to stay there because it was amazing. So,
If they guaranteed you like a 15-year extension, would you sign up?
oh, it's all a numbers game. That crap costs way too much. Like, I will just roll the dice and stay there at a 7-month window versus like I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my other thing is the gas station that's like right past the parking lot there to go
Yep.
get some booze. Yup. Without having to.
I've gotten ice there many of times. And also,
So like, yeah, that place, the boardwalk for sure. And I haven't stayed at Beach Club or Yacht Club, so I haven't experienced Stormalong Bay. So I'm not knocking it by any means because I want to, and we will.
Definitely too.
But yeah, but I loved the boardwalk. So what you got, Steve? Surprise us
that's
again.
going to be coming up here shortly. Shortly after this episode airs, I should have a quick trip report from the boardwalk as I will be there. Been there many a times. Been in the rooms and whatnot with friends staying there, but I'll actually be staying there, so I'll give my what have yous for it. No surprise for me, guys. The Poly, notwithstanding the construction that's going on there currently. That's my number one, always probably will be, unless I do something drastically different with it. This harkens back to since I was a child and staying there as a kid, back when you could still swim in the lakes. For me, the location, in general, monorail, walk, or boat to the Magic Kingdom. You're steps away from the Epcot monorail, so you're basically at Epcot's front door to having that at your disposal, with just transferring over to the TTC right there is just amazing. And just that theme that, I kind of mentioned it before, the laid backness of it, of chilling out, Trader Sam's, Kona Grill upstairs, Ohana, the whole vibe, the music. I'm a sucker for the Poly. Right now, as we record this, in winter of 2021, that wouldn't be my choice at the moment. I probably would tell anybody going, you're better off at Boardwalk or Beach Club or Yacht Club, or if you're I'm telling you to stay at a DVC, so I'm telling you to go Boardwalk or Beach Club. But overall, if you're watching this video 2 years from now, go stay at the Poly.
Yeah, that's the resort I've been to the most without ever getting to stay there, because when we stayed at Shades of Green, we just used everything from the Polynesian. It's like Poly Junior staying at Shades of Green, and that we'd use everything. Like, I spent so much time there and never stayed in a room, but yes, everything you said, yes.
Trader Sam's is the one saving grace. It's the only reason why I didn't make it my worst deluxe in the last episode. And if it takes like a Hail Mary bar for that to happen, that says a lot. Personally, like I said, it's going from Brady Bunch goes to Hawaii to now Saved by the Bell Hawaiian style with the newest update. It's a little old, a little kitschy, and it killed the Beatles.
What does Moana have to do with Saved by the Bell? Let me ask you that.
Oh no, I just meant that the update looks like the hotel from Saved by the Bell Hawaiian style.
You may be the only person who can picture that hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I watch those episodes all the time. They're fantastic.
R.I.P. Screech.
All right.
Yeah. Pour one out for my homie.
Bobby and I will go back and forth on the Polynesian. You guys can go read our spitting match from a couple of years back on the blog.
And we're still fighting about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that's going to come to ever any terms at all. It's always going to be an impasse, so we'll just leave it at that. I'm always a Poly fan. I don't think anybody was surprised by that's ever read our site or watched our videos.
Bobby's answer was equally unsurprising, so I think
yeah.
I want to stay at the Riviera, so I could call that my favorite.
I'm going to spend some time there coming up because, basically it's a
Skyliner
walk over
over,
to Epcot, then a Skyliner over. So I'm going to try to grab a lunch there, see if I can get a res somewhere just to check out the grounds because watching your Topolino's video and like some of the grounds that you showed before you got into your review, Pat, man, the place looks pretty dope on the Skyliner. So
the Le Petit Cafe, I think their little quick service is not bad. We went by it. We didn't buy anything because we were going for drinks, not food. But you should check that out too if you can't get into Topolino's.
Looks great from the road when I drive by it. When
I'm not trying to stay there with my own money, but
I found a res at like 8:40 at night.
It's great, yeah.
8:40 at night at Topolino's with a 7-year-old. It's kind of 8:40 at night.
Oh, so you heard it like that too. I thought you said $840 a night.
Yeah.
No. That's a no. That's gonna wrap it up for this episode, guys. Those are our best resorts, value, moderate, and deluxe. For everybody here at Knot Club 33, have a great day. We're out.